don't seem to have the same level of detailed design on the front end. Even though we paid 10 grand for it, that I'd like to see. And I think of it, a lot of that resulted from all the multiple revisions and changes, and really he didn't have the guidance that he should have had. In my opinion, for what that's worth. Not much, it's free.
All right, let's make a vote on this thing.
Okay, so we have a motion to go forward with the adder of 12.5 with the additional 5 drains to make it 13 street drains plus the 6 yard drains.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, Mr. Duzing, gotcha. Who has to second that, please?
I'm going to second it, and with the same proviso that Joe be read in on every portion of this thing from this point forward.
Okay,
we're just voting on the Oakwood money right now, correct?
I mean, we're voting on a portion of the amended budget adder, yes. But this is a 12.5 adder, yes.
Okay.
Joe, I think you and I and the mayor should sit down and talk about a project management format for the city going forward. I got some ideas, just a heads up. Mr. Martin, yes or no?
Sean, I got a question. I don't want to vote yes or no before. Are we talking about the COVID, or are we talking about everything for the budget amendment right now?
Joe wanted to do an adder vote, the 12.5 for the Oakwood project.
So we're just talking about Oakwood right now, correct?
That's how my notes will show it.
Yes. Yes for the money for Oakwood.
Okay, Mrs. Humphrey?
Yes.
Okay. And Mrs. Lowry?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Okay, so they add the 12.5.
I would like to clarify my vote. I would just like to say that I agree with Jim that I feel like we should keep Joe involved in any kind of changes or discussions, just to be careful.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we discussed and voted upon the adder at 12.5. We discussed and voted upon the reduction in the Christmas budget removal. Basically, this is our second reading of the original amended budget that we discussed. Is there any questions on the other items?
Yeah, Sean, I have a question. You or the mayor will be able to answer this. The small business economic relief grant for COVID, that was $53,833.13.
Yes.
And there was 2 businesses in the city that are getting that. Are there any more? Are we going to be finished with this, or?
The October 30th was a, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Well,
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Danny, it's a turnaround because in December, it ends, December 30th, I think is the last day. So yeah, we need to go ahead and get this. I have tried to reach out to everyone in the city, and most of the people have had some type of federal funding already. So these 2 are the 2 that we're trying to help out. The committee has agreed to the numbers and to go forward with this according to the ordinance 282 and 283.
So 2 businesses will be splitting or getting the $53,833.
And that's exactly what they lost, nothing more.
Okay, thank you.
And Danny, that's total between the 2 businesses, not each.
Thank
Just to
you.
clarify. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the second reading is complete. I assume we do a motion and vote to approve the ordinance after some adjustments, of course, but do I have a motion to move forward with the overall?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Lowry. Anyone want to second that, please?
I'll second it.
Mr. Roberts, thank you. Round the horn, Mr. Duzing.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
And Mrs. Humphrey.
Yes.
Okay. And your dinner partner there, Mr. Martin, just kidding.
Yes.
All right, okay. All right, motion is carried. I will work on this tomorrow. I think we need to verify the performance bond percentage that's going to be in the contract before I put it out for final publication. But in the same breath, I think we're on the same page. So, okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. If you need to get going, that's okay. We do have one other issue to talk about tonight, or one more agenda from Councilman Roberts. He had some questions in regards to monthly reports.
Thank you, Kay. I did have to leave. Sorry, guys.
Okay, go ahead. I got it on video, recorder. Go ahead.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. Thanks, guys. My apologies for leaving.
Thanks. See you in the morning.
Yep.
So are we ready for me to take over?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I've been asking for these reports for probably going on, it's getting close to 2 years now. And now I'm gonna change tactics a little bit, and I'm gonna ask respectfully again that we get monthly reports from the Public Works and the ABC to find out, what's going on, what's getting done, where do we sit, and just to show what value we're getting for what we're paying, and maybe put a little transparency into the city to where we can see where we need to go, what we need to improve on. The last time I asked for it, we ended up getting a job description change, which is not even close to what I was asking for. And I know Mr. Martin has asked in the past. I've asked in the past. I don't think anybody else has jumped on that wagon yet, but I don't think anybody can disagree with the fact that we need a little more transparency of what's going on. And Alex, I don't know if we can get what we need to change, or I don't even know why we would need to change anything. We should just be able to ask and it come out. It's not a secret that I know of. But if we need to make an amendment, a resolution, make it 11th commandment, whatever it takes, just to be able to get these reports. That's all I'm asking.
Todd, that's the first about the ABC that I've heard. I mean, you're welcome. That's open record. You're welcome to come over anytime, and we'll make copies for you. As far as the job description, I think Danny requested, a yearly report of all that Public Works has done so far this year, and things that we're still working on, such as you've requested, like inventory and things like that. Was that not sufficient for that 2-page, what did I put in your packet?
As a yearly?
Yes.
I'm asking for a monthly. And I included the ABC because I've been accused of harassing before, so I figured we just cover all departments of the city, and that way nobody can say, oh, you're picking on this guy. Well, no, I just want to know, I want to see what we're doing. I don't know how else I can explain what I'm asking for. And am I the only one that thinks I'm asking for too much?
Todd, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's not you that's asking for it, and it's not me that's asking for it. We're asking for council for it to be put in our package, just like we get a fire department monthly report, law enforcement, and a treasurer's report. So, I mean, somebody just sitting in on this meeting for the first time might want to be asking, why do you want that? It's not that you want that. You're asking for the whole council.
Well, I am asking for the whole I am asking for the whole council, but I can only speak for myself. So if everybody wants to go around the table, that's fine. It's just,
And Todd, let me go a little step farther. In a meeting a couple months ago, in the personnel policy, I passed out the piece of paper where we're allowed to get monthly reports, whatever we ask for. And I passed that out. I forgot, I didn't bring it with me. I forgot what page it was on, but it's in there that if we ask the mayor, if whatever reports there is, it says yearly, but if we want any more reports, that she will be, that'll be part of what she does, and we're asking for a monthly report.
but I don't wanna have to.
As for open records, this is something that should just be put in our personnel policy.
Yeah, I'm not wanting to have
I mean,
to ask
excuse me,
every
in our
month.
council packet. It's already in our personnel policy. I apologize. That we get whatever we ask for reports. We're needed in our monthly council packets.
So, if the five of you agree with what I'm asking for, I don't know what steps we have to take, but it just seems like I'm tired of asking, and it's getting, it's, I don't know.
The 2-page report, was that not sufficient of what's going on with throughout the year with the city? I would assume that the residents would complain if things weren't getting done. There is some things that people see that come in and tell us about it, and we will have JD maintenance to correct that, so forth. I'm not getting hardly very many complaints at all. I mean, he does his mowing, he does what he needs to do for the city, and I mean, what else are you wanting him to do as far as his job description? He's doing his job description, and anything else that we need to attend to the city. That yearly report that Danny asked for, I typed that out.
I did, Mayor, I apologize. Thank you for putting something on paper. That's more than what we have had. But I'm not asking for a yearly report. I'm asking for a monthly report, like we do with the law enforcement and fire department and treasurer's report. And
If I have time, I will definitely get that.
Grass is through growing. I mean, it's pretty much, we're supposed to get some rain and it's not freezing yet. It might grow a little bit more. We're through with the grass cutting season.
Well, that's true, but we have a lot of stop signs and other
Big old
maintenance,
stop signs, you're right.
garbage pickup. I mean,
And
you know,
and Paula, you are making an awesome point. You're awesome point. What great would that be to put in a monthly report that 8 stop signs were replaced this month, along with the trash? That would be perfect. Thank you for bringing that up. That would be perfect for us to see. And we'll see it, we'll read it, and won't say a word. So when somebody on the street goes, what's going on? Oh, this is what's happened in the city this month. That's a great idea, Paula. Thank you.
I'll look into it, guys, if I have time to do it.
Mayor, I don't think you understand about the looking into it. We've been asking for this report for a long time, for a monthly report, and it keeps getting put on the back burner. And also, I've asked back in June for timesheets for the employees. And the full-time people, I never got copies of the timesheets on an open records request, but only got copies of the timesheets for the part-time person.
We've started keeping timesheets just recently because they never had to before, Danny. So it's not, I don't disagree with you on that.
Mayor, that was in the personnel policy too, about the treasurer and clerk keeping track of the timesheets. That's in our Crittenden personnel policy too. And on the open records request, I put copies. It's okay, I can get you another one. But on the open request, the report that I asked for in June, I made copies of that from the personnel policy too, about the timesheets.
I don't have an issue with that, Danny. We're working, they're doing that.
okay, wait a minute, let me say something.
No, hold on, Paul, I'm not finished. Danny, it's a whole new ball game for the employees that with the different administration, different council and so forth. There's a lot of changes that's had to be made, and that's okay. Things happen and people should adjust. Some people don't adjust to change as well as others. And it's kind of difficult, you know, because you have to, you know, let them know that this is what we need, this is what they want, and now they're starting to get timesheets typed out and things like that. So, you know, give them a little time. And
Do they have a copy of the personnel policy, Mayor? Do they have access to the personnel
Yes.
policy of Crittenden?
it's right there. But,
Okay.
you know, too, just be careful not to cross those boundaries and stay in your lane, because, you know, that might bring up some issues with employees as we have in the past.
Don't forget, in the personnel policy, it does have mediation too. If somebody thinks that they're being unjustly treated, they're more than welcome per Crittenden's personnel policy that they can go through mediation.
Yeah, they can file a grievance, they can go through that, and they can call the labor board. I mean, it opens up a lot of doors, you know, and so forth.
Yes.
But yes, thank you. I would like to take this time to personally thank Joe Doozy, that has really helped along the Oakwood issues with both engineers, with Alex, with myself. I mean, it's been a battle, and Sean with his help. And I really commend you, Joe, for stepping up and helping, because I'm ready to pull my hair out, you know, thinking, you know, what is going on? You know, in my mind, I'm thinking we have professional engineers, we're getting all this taken care of, and we're getting ready to start, and then something else gets thrown in. So Joe's been a real big help to me, just, you know, with that Oakwood project. And thank you, Joe.
Well, thanks for the kind words. And to build on that, I just think our lessons learned here is we're kind of a dream come true at this point for engineering firms and contractors to take advantage of us. That's why we need systems in place, like a review process, scope change process, sign-off process, to keep them honest. Otherwise, we're going to open ourselves for extra after extra after extra, and that's why we've got to keep a real close eye on it. And we're getting there. So thanks for the kind words, but we can all learn from this for the future too.
That's why I like to take everything through Alex, you know, the attorney, because I don't have an engineer degree or in a construction background, you know, and you know, it'd be easy for some people to throw things in there that would trick in a contract, and I'm not going to sign anything unless you know, I have you and Alex look at it. So thank you for that.
Is this meeting over?
No, it's not. 'Cause I'm not satisfied with the answers that I'm getting here. I've waited 2 years. I'm not waiting 2 more years. So, like you said, you like to run things through Alex. So I'm going to ask Alex's opinion of what does it take to get what I'm asking for done.
I think that the answer to your question is that you would like to have, on a monthly basis or whenever you have council meetings, you would like to have the department heads or the only 2 employees that we have give an accounting. I'm assuming it's for the county, the city clerk as well, not just the
city
you're
clerk.
talking about.
The city clerk, kind of with the monthly reports, I think he's pretty well covered. I mean, like, unless the rest of you 5 think differently, but I think we can see what he's doing.
Todd, it'd be great if you could just give me exactly, and I'm happy to kind of go through with you and work through it. Just give me an idea of exactly what you want to see on a monthly basis. Let's figure out how our ordinances and our policies mesh. Kay's job, of course, is to do the day-to-day and to manage those employees, and we'll figure out where the happy medium is. But I mean, I don't think there's any problem with a report telling, hey, this is what's going on this week or this month or this year. I mean, whatever it is that you need. We just can't have council members going to employees and telling them what to do. whether it be putting up street signs or taking out trash or cutting grass. It doesn't work that way.
I don't
And
think,
that's where we're gonna get into trouble.
and I don't think anybody has done that as far as I know of.
There's been concerns of council members that have said and told employees to do various things at various times. You know, Kay and I are dealing with one now, and we're dealing with these issues now. We're still dealing with issues. So, I mean, we're doing the best we can just to make sure that everybody's following the rules. In this case, I mean, Todd, give us a list of the things that you like to see. If it's a monthly report, you know, what do you want to see? You want to see, you know, X, Y, Z, and let's just work to get that form so that whoever is in that capacity of job employment, whether it be clerk or maintenance or anyone else, that everybody knows what to expect moving forward over the next 2 years or 20 years, whatever it takes.
Okay.
I think it's kind of discriminating against one and not the other. If you have an employee and you say, oh, we pretty much know what that one does, and then you go to the next employee and you don't really feel like you know what he does, when you had a yearly report of the things that he's doing. So you can't say that, Todd. You can't discriminate against employees.
If you want to put everybody that works out of
I'm not
that
putting
building,
anybody, you are.
okay, well, then I'll put all three then. Well, no, wait a minute. Before I put this together and waste my time putting it together, do I have the consensus of the council that this is what they'd also like?
Yes.
Yes, we need to have transparency, what goes on.
I'm fine with the monthly report, Todd, that's fine.
Well, and to Kay's point that we're discriminating against one of the employees, I think what Todd was saying was that Sean is giving a report every month. So Sean's already given a report, so that's why he said that. And Sean gives more of a report than we ever received in the past.
That's a treasurer's report, but what about the clerk's report? Do you want him to write down every property tax that he sends out, every bill that he gets in, the mail that he gets and brings in, and so forth?
Well,
So
that's already in his report. When he gives us the monthly reports from the treasurer, it's going to show $30,000 worth of property tax came in.
I would venture to say you guys need to be very, very careful. Very careful.
Mayor, we're being very careful because we're trying to follow the personnel policy. If a city council person asks for a report for the council, it says in the personnel policy, and in fact, I gave you the piece of paper and you said, I already got it. And what is the proper procedure while we're driving around if we see issues? To call the city building and send a message to the mayor and Sean, address anything? Is that the proper procedure?
Absolutely. If you see issues, you have to bring them. You can do it on the floor as a council member. You can bring them to the mayor, but you cannot instruct employees what to do. It doesn't work that way. And that's the problem that we face.
I would agree with that.
We can't tell them that they're not cutting grass. We can't tell them that they're not, collecting property taxes properly. That's within the province of the mayor. And where we run into problems, and I think what Kay's point is that I'm happy, just give me what you need and we'll figure it out and we'll do this the right way. And if that means that the employees have to, give a 15-minute report like Lee does or the police does every month or the fire, then let's make that happen. And you guys can ask, relevant questions, but you can't give directives and say, put down your hours or do this. And that has to come from Kay.
Alex and Mayor and Sean's not here. In the personnel policy, it has that the city treasurer and clerk is responsible for keeping timesheets. That was in my open records request in June too. A copy of that was highlighted. I still have that. So we're trying to follow our policy. Somebody else isn't trying to follow our policy and trying to argue with us. I don't want to argue. I really don't.
Danny, I believe I told you we're keeping timesheets now.
So that would be great, something to put in the monthly report too then. Boom, this is what the person worked. He or she took this many hours of vacation. he was sick this day or she was sick this day. We look at it. You have to have transparency. People keep asking about transparency. And that's what you're showing. When you keep asking for something, it's like when
We
you
have
ask
two
for something.
employees to run the whole, to work the whole city, Danny. Do you think things are not getting done?
Did not say that. I'm saying you have to have transparency. And like when you ask your spouse for a copy of the credit card bill and you keep not getting it, you scratch your head and you start wondering what's going on. And no, I'm not talking about a credit card bill. I'm talking about that's a metaphor. That's an example. When you start asking for something and you don't get it, it makes people scratch their heads going, why don't they want to give it? It's in the personnel policy. That's it.
Yeah, it looks like that there's secrets being kept and we get.
What kind of secret?
He just.
JD shows up for work and leaves, and he don't cheat on his time, and he never takes, no, let me finish,
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
okay?
We need this point.
And we've already had other employees to leave, and there's fear in some people's mind that you're gonna try to take away their pay like you had Donna Dooley's because you didn't think she was worthy enough. And that is an issue. And that's why I feel like that you guys will use this, and it says in the policy, if I feel like the mayor feels like you're gonna use this against the employees, I don't have to do any of it. So just keep that in the back of your mind because I don't wanna lose any more employees.
Okay, well, two things. At your convenience, please let me know what policy page number you're talking about where you don't have to give us something if you feel a certain way, so I can have that for my records. The reason why we're asking about the timesheets, do you remember, Mayor, when you muted me when I asked you about what time do people work? And you looked at me and you go, I don't know when they work. And I went crazy and you went mute. And I'm looking at everybody talking like, what do you mean you're the mayor? You're in charge of the city. What do you mean you don't know when they're working? And that's about when I got muted, which I didn't know until people
I
told
don't know
me that.
I don't know what you're talking about there, but I do know when they work because I'm there. And if I have an issue, I remember what you're talking about, but it wasn't because I didn't know how the employees were working. But I think, as far as the mute, yeah, you went crazy and I had to mute you for a minute there. But
After you said, I don't know when they work, Danny.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, you did.
There's times where I'm not holding JD's hand and he's mowing grass. I don't know where he's at sometimes, which location, at which hour of the day, but I'm not micromanaging an employee that's been here 26 years that I just feel like that is being badgered.
That's your opinion and you're allowed, and that's a great thing about America.
Counts, because
great thing about America, Mayor. We are allowed to have our own opinions. That's great. We're allowed to have our own opinions.
Alex, you still on here?
Yes, sir.
There we go. The next meeting is December 8th. How much lead time do you need to put something together so I know I can make some kind of deadline to get this to you?
I'm around all weekend. You want to call anytime, we can work through it and put something together and look at the personnel policy and more importantly, the ordinances and the statutes and come up with whatever is permissible, recognizing everybody's independent authority. Happy to do it.
Okay.
I'm sure JD and Sean will be relieved to know exactly what to expect of them at the council meetings, so they're not caught off guard.
And do we have, this is for the mayor, do we have a current and what job description for Public Works? Because I know the one I got was from 1979, and there's no way we can still be using that one.
Well, it's highly possible we are still using that one.
Yeah, we've been through this so many times. I'll be glad when somebody grabs hold of it mentally and figures this out.
That was going to be my next question, Mayor, is not trying to cross a line that you say. Who makes their job description? giving it any one of the three. Who makes the job? I would have assumed it was you. Where does their
Personnel
job
policy.
description come from?
Personnel policy, and that's something that you all have looked at. You got together this ordinance for director of maintenance, and then you voted it down.
That director thing, that was the last time I asked for a monthly report, and that's what I ended up with.
Well,
And
that was
that's
from
why I
council.
voted it down.
That wasn't from me. That was from council. So
I'm not sure where the director thing came from, but that was not what I was asking for.
Hey, I did the best I could.
Yeah, well-
I'm confused.
There will be something December 8th, or was that 8th? I don't remember what day it was. Yeah, December 8th. We will have something on the table. I don't know about a job description thing, because I have, I
did you
don't,
make the comment, Todd, that you was not gonna let up on JD?
did I make the comment of what?
Did you make a comment saying you was not gonna let up on JD and his job?
Hey guys, let's just kind of stick to what we got to stick to if we could right
Well,
now.
you made it.
Okay, I know, but let's just work on, Todd, let's work on getting that together, the language that you'd like to see, so that council can be fully apprised, and we'll talk about these issues later.
Well,
Thank you, Alex. That was appropriate.
Yeah, it's time to go, guys.
On that statement,
All right, a motion
I'm
to,
going to let everybody on this
Vote on the budget.
on this screen right now know. I said I'm not going to let up on not getting this monthly report. If I was, I would have gave up on it 2 years ago. I got 2 more years to go. I don't think it's too much to ask for. But for some reason, we're being stonewalled on getting the information that we're asking for. And this is not the only subject we're getting kept in the dark on. That's why everybody's preaching transparency. We need to know. And it's just getting to be bull that we're having to go through this to get a single piece of paper once a month that says, this is what I do. Why is it so dang hard to get this? I played a different game the last 2 years. This next 2 years ain't going to be the same. I'm going to get what I'm asking for. As long as I am entitled to get it, I'm going to get it. The games are done. So now you can call the meeting if you want, but we'll have something on the table December 8th.
Thank you, Todd.
I make a motion to end the meeting.
I'll second it.
Mayor, would I be able to make a suggestion? Okay. Something that I've done at my apartments is